All right now.
Patrick Mahomes is basically God playing quarterback.
Chiefs Kingdom
Live!
They want it. They want it.
And when it's grim, be the Grim Reaper. And go get it.
That's a different cheer right there, baby.
Yeah, we're not having a snowball fight.
He'll get handled when he gets handled.
The Lombardi Trophy has a red and gold reflection. Touchdown! Kansas City! One of the greatest duos in the history of the National Football League. Patrick Mahomes to Travis Kelce. Do it live! Let's go! You gotta fight for your right to party!
Let's go.
Howdy, Chiefs Kingdom. It's Wednesday. It's 8:30. It's Chiefs Kingdom Live. Thank you so much for joining us. If you would, real quick, before you forget, make sure you click or tap that like and click or tap that subscribe button. Maybe turn on those notifications so we don't miss you when we go live. Tell some friends, tell some family members, tell some Chiefs fans, help spread the word. We sure appreciate that. We got a good show lined up for y'all tonight. Unlike the Chiefs in Brazil, we're coming with the energy out of the gate here. We're going to talk
Drew Tranquil energy.
Right, we got that Drew Tranquil energy. I did have a badass game. We're going to talk about that game. There's some bad, some not so good. There were some good things, too, from that game. And there's a lot of perspective, I feel like, what we're going to shed on that game and what the season could look like for the Chiefs. Before we get into it, Nick, how are we doing this evening?
Yeah, I'm doing well, man. It was a good run in 2025 for the Chiefs. It was a good season. We went out, we tried to accomplish our goals, and it didn't work out. And they'll just have to try again next season. You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
Right. Bo, you've had a few days to lick your wounds here. How are you feeling, man?
you're on mute.
Again, man, one of these days. One of these days.
One of
Let's
these
do it every
days.
episode, just so
It's
like
all
that
good.
consistent.
It was an alertness test. It was making sure you were paying attention.
It's been a wild week, right? Like it's kind of refreshing to see Eagles fans actually happy for once. Generally, they're just so miserable and just sad and angry at the world that like, all right, yeah, that's fine. This will.
Well, they're in Philadelphia.
Yeah,
Right.
understandably so, right? But no, I mean they're overly hyped for this week, and so I'm happy for them. Watched the New Heights podcast, and I caught that Kevin Hart correctly spelled Eagles, but then threw another E at the end of it. So I'm going to chalk him up to another Eagles fan that can't spell Eagles correctly. But yeah, so I'm doing good, man. That was my gym for the day. How you doing, buddy?
The Eagles is that what he was going for there?
Eagles.
Even if that was the case, you wouldn't put a second S on there. You'd just put the little
The second
apostrophe
E.
there.
He threw in
There at the
another
end,
E,
so-
dude. I don't.
Right. Even if you were trying to say,
Please.
this is the Eagles' year, like, even then, you would still not put two S's at the end. But we digress. Yeah, no, Philadelphia Eagles fans, even after they won the Super Bowl, even if they kicked our ass, they still seemed angry for whatever reason. Maybe Nick's on to something there. But, Bo, let's just overall feelings, thoughts watching that game in Brazil. It just started off just flat, right? And Xavier Worthy gets hurt on the third play, and it was just it was an uphill battle from the first snap of the game, it seemed like.
Definitely having some deja vu. Felt like last year, just like 3 plays in, one of the receivers your game plan's built around just goes out and you're like, oh, well, now we're out our wide receiver 1 and 2.
Right.
Well, we're going with 3 and 4 now. Okay, let's hope our
Shit.
run game's good. Okay, well, let's hope Patrick came to play.
Right,
And,
yeah.
Luckily he did, right? But
Right.
man, it just couldn't get everybody on the same page. Obviously fell a little short. I mean, there was flashes of some really good things, which we'll get into, right? But
Right.
man, that first half was abysmal. I got to give huge credit to Andy Reid or the coaching staff. I don't know who it was or what they said at halftime, but you saw the course
It worked.
correction come out at halftime. It just wasn't. I mean, I think they kind of shot themselves in the foot a little too early. So,
Right.
but yeah,
Too little,
I
too
think
late.
going forward we're going to be fine. I mean, everybody that I've heard this week talk about the Chargers, like, oh, Herbert had the best game of his life. This is the best we've ever seen, right? We lost by 6, dude, and we played abysmal. So,
Right.
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
Right. Nick, overall thoughts, feelings? I was watching the game with you, but so I know, but tell the folks that are watching here how you feel, kind of overall thoughts.
Probably be slightly less colorful language than it was live. Yeah, I mean, it's like, well, it's Groundhog Day again.
Again, right.
Like, just
hand in mine.
No, just the receivers being out. It feels like kind of like a repeat. Really, one of the takeaways I had is this reminded me a lot of that Colts game from a few years ago, where like we lost. The other team ran the ball really well, and like we just like wasted a vintage Mahomes performance. That was like my main takeaway was, man, Patrick was freaking Superman. Right. In that game, he was throwing the ball sideways in the air. He was lowering the shoulder on defenders. I mean, he was just running out of bounds, like throwing the ball 30 yards down the field on 4th down. Like he did everything that he could, and it just wasn't quite enough. Defense came up short, and those are kind of my thoughts, man.
Yeah, it just reminded us a lot of Chiefs games where they fall behind, and sometimes you just don't have the horses, right, to come back. And losing Xavier Worthy on the 3rd play, it was disheartening to hear Andy Reid say, and some of the players say, well, we just didn't come out with the right amount of energy. Like, you've been sitting on the Super Bowl beatdown all off season, and you're in Brazil, and this is a Friday night game, and the crowd there seemed pretty electric. The Chargers were obviously fired up and ready to play that game. That was the most disheartening thing, and probably surprising thing to me was just and I don't know how much of losing Xavier Worthy played into that. It happened quick. It wasn't like we had a drive or two. And then he got hurt to see like how the offense was going to come out. So they got him a running play right out the gate there. But yeah, it felt like so many Chiefs games, like Nick had mentioned, watched before, where the team got behind and just this time they couldn't pull the rabbit out of the hat, and they couldn't claw their way back and find a way to win, even though they were 1/3 forever stop there at the end, which we'll kind of talk about when we break it down in more detail. So yeah, just a frustrating, disappointing. Like, I'm not overly concerned. I'm not doom and gloom. If you're here wanting doom and gloom, you're probably in the wrong place. Not that we're not going to be critical, right, and point the finger and talk about what went wrong, but it's a 1-game sample size, man. It's a small sample size. We'll talk about the Eagles game coming up, how we feel about that game. We'll have a week, and Andy Reid and the coaching staff they'll have a week to put together a game plan without Xavier Worthy. It's not like they're going to lose him in the 3rd play of this game and have to kind of just completely throw the script and crumple it up and wing it and throw it in the trash. So
how those first 15 plays that we all hear that coaches script up, right? 15, 20 plays. Every team's got it. I mean, it's not
out
like
the window.
A hidden secret.
Yeah.
How many of those were revolved around Xavier, right? Probably a good 80, 90% of them.
A lot.
Right?
They gave him that one handoff early, right? It was the 1st or 2nd play of the game.
Yeah.
Nick, just more detailed, like which player, which position group, what just you think stood out to you as maybe like the worst of a bad performance? Who really stunk it up?
Yeah, I mean, secondary is obviously did not perform well. There were wide open receivers all game. Really, for me, it's like, okay, so the receiving core is kind of decimated, right? So we knew that Rice wasn't going to play, but then we lose Worthy, and we're kind of down to number 3, number 4. And the running game really just could not produce anything. The run blocking really didn't look like they were able to produce much. And so to me, that was like, we were told that Isaiah Pacheco was going to, be back. He's healthy, right? Like doesn't have a lingering injury from last year.
It was on a revenge tour.
Yeah. On a revenge tour. Right. We've kind of upgraded that room a little bit. And really, it was just like a dud. And so to me, that's like, okay, so now like there's no running game, and now we're down receivers, and so it's like got to be the Patrick Mahomes show, and he's got to basically be out there kind of doing everything. He's a leading rusher on the team, right? I mean, it just to me that's just like a huge gap in our game. And I know the Ravens lost, but then I'm watching Derrick Henry like just truck people and like run for 175 yards against
get the edge,
defense.
run around people.
And I'm just sitting there thinking, dude, like
to be studied.
Right.
Yeah. Derrick Henry needs to be studied. I mean, dude, I don't understand how he's doing it.
At his age, anyway. Yeah.
At his age, after all the carries that he's had, I think he tied Walter Payton for the most 170 or 150 yard performances after the age of 30.
Right.
Right.
So I just like I'm like, we could have had that guy, like he was available, right?
Yeah.
Like Saquon Barkley, we could have had that guy. Like, I know that, cap is tight or whatever, but like, dude, we could have had one of those two guys, and just think about like how much easier that game would have been for us if we had a little bit of like outlet of pressure there. So,
right. Bo, I mean, what stood out to you what did you find most disappointing in the Chiefs Friday night?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with Nick. I mean, but I'm gonna really focus it onto that D line. I feel like that really affected our secondary's ability to perform, right? Like, I mean, they kind of did get diced up a little bit, but it wasn't like one player had like 150, 200 yards on us. Like 8 guys had like 60 yards,
right.
man.
Yeah,
And, like,
right. Everybody
when they get 5, 6, 7 seconds to just run around the field, like, dude, that's like impossible to cover as a secondary. So like, I was just really disappointed with our lack of pass rush. We kind of talked Chris Jones, he's getting double and triple teamed, but this is the same guy that's like holding out for money. He's the best player, 10 sacks, you can guarantee it, kind of stuff. Didn't even appear in that game, so it appeared until the end when he made a huge mistake and Drew Tranquil got in his face. But then those other guys too, Karlaftis, Omenihu, like everybody, like one-on-one can't beat their guy at all. Justin Herbert had all day back there. That was entirely frustrating to watch, right? I was switching over to the offense. I wasn't as disappointed in the run game. Like, I feel like that left side of our line is so new, still working things out, that their main focus was pass protection, and they kind of forgot about like, oh yeah, we have to do run blocking too, right? I think like training camp and even practices leading up to this was protect Patrick. You do not let somebody rush him on a pass when he's dropping back, right? And so I kind of think that kind of hindered us a little bit. So I feel like that's easily fixable. So I'm not giving up on our run game, but man, it was not helping us whatsoever, man. I feel like it's there if we can get the line working, but it just hard to watch game, man.
Right. Yeah, I mean, for me, the most disappointing aspect was the offensive line, man. We talked about it in the offseason. Last couple off seasons, they've given Creed Humphrey a record contract, right? And he's the highest paid center in the league. And now they got Trey Smith on a record deal. He's the highest paid right guard in the league. Juwan Taylor, he didn't get a record deal, but he's the second highest paid player on the team this year. They've got a first round pick at left tackle. To not be able to open holes and not be able to create lanes for the running backs. And also, to me personally, Patrick Mahomes was under duress too often in that game. The Chiefs have just committed far too many assets and draft capital and dollars to get that performance. I mean, Justin Herbert, you talk about him having all day. That's what Patrick Mahomes should be looking like with this offensive line, man. Yeah, I was definitely expecting better. Although we've seen this team's inability, right, to open holes or get a push up the middle, and on 3rd and 1 and 2nd and 1 or 4th and short, right? They got to roll Patrick out and throw the ball to get 4th and 1. So I don't know. It's puzzling to me. I was happy Trey Smith, Creed Humphrey, all these guys seem like good guys, and they're fan favorites, and they get these big paydays, and there's grading sites that talk about they're the highest graded guard, they're the highest graded center in football. But just watching football and watching the team, it was not good enough. There at the end, when they were having to pass and get the ball downfield fast, Patrick Mahomes has to scramble out to his right almost immediately on the play where he connected to Hollywood Brown. What was that? 4th and 6, 4th and 8.
Yeah, 4th and 5.
I mean, it was in an instant, like snap your fingers, bam. Well, I got to roll out and I got to scramble and throw this ball on the run. So
It was almost the exact same play that we had against the Ravens
Right.
in his first year as a starter.
right. So yeah, for me, that's definitely the most disappointing, maybe frustrating part of the game to me was just the way the offensive line played. Did they necessarily maybe look like the worst offensive line in football or history? No, but they definitely didn't perform up to what the Chiefs have paid and the draft picks and like I said, just the assets that the Chiefs have committed to that position group.
You didn't even talk
just gotta
about
play, like,
Taylor getting
devil's
4
advocate.
penalties.
Well, that I
Yeah,
mean, that
that's
just goes into with me talking about him being the second highest paid player on the team. I mean,
I got to play devil's advocate a little bit. Like how much? Because I thought the pass protection was pretty decent, right? I thought Patrick might have scrambled a little too early when like
I don't know.
because like Simmons, I felt like did fine, right? I felt like that. left
Yeah,
side, like,
he got
I feel like
beat.
Kingsley might be like the more of like the concern there.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, sure. He got beat
sure a
4
concern.
times, right? He got beat 4 times, like glaringly obvious. But like other than that, that's fine. But like to me, the concern was like their inability to move the defensive line for a run, right? Like I
Right.
thought the protection was fine. I still feel like Patrick, like, okay, this is what I was saying. Like I feel like Patrick might have a little bit of happy feet still, just a little bit of like jitters from like the past, 6 games he's played in as a professional. He's had no blindside protection, right? So if he looks over and it looks the tiniest bit like it's
Yeah.
gonna break down, he's out, right? So like I don't know. I'm not giving up on that left side quite yet.
The offensive line too. I mean, I didn't even mention where we get the ball, the Chargers chargered and ran out of bounds and threw an incomplete pass and gave us the ball right there
Yeah.
that let us get down the field for the fire drill thing. Juwan Taylor and Josh Simmons get back-to-back false starts. Now you're talking about a 59-yard field goal attempt instead of a 49. I don't care, like, if it was one play. You can't have that penalty, and you can't make those mistakes in that position if you're the second highest paid player on the team and if you're a first-round draft pick who is the starter. You just can't do it. So maybe there was some plays
I'll
where
give the rookie a slide, right? Rookie's gonna rookie. You're gonna make mistakes. It's game 1, week 1,
Man,
right? If this is week 4 and he's still doing that shit, then yeah, I'm gonna be as like hard nosed about it as you. Like I'll let him slide. Juwan Taylor, on the other hand, 4 penalties. Like
there's
what?
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Yeah, no, I definitely cut a little more slack to Simmons than I would Taylor, but not a ton
Right.
more. I mean,
No,
Nick,
yeah,
how much
no, I'm not saying
slack
like,
are you giving those guys?
Give them free carte blanche to just
Yeah.
let it happen. I'm saying like I'll let that one game, a couple of mistakes slide from the rookie, but
Right.
Juwan Taylor's no rookie, right? Like
No, definitely not.
it's been his Achilles heel, I would say, his whole career, right? His
For
false
here.
starts and just
Right, yeah.
yeah.
Well, since he got here and since Chris
Yeah,
Collinsworth
since he got
pointed
here.
out, and you watch other football games and you see it happen like so often, and it just
Every
But hey, they're picking on you, man. You so what? I mean, you're gonna cry
You
about
just
it.
keep doing
continue to
it?
get penalties.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't keep doing it, man.
And there were probably 5 times that they didn't call it in the game.
Yeah, there was that too. There was a few times where I was like
Um,
waiting for the flag to come out.
So, I mean, you obviously saw Kelsey get upset, right, with
yeah.
Taylor, and
He's pissed.
kind of ask
Goodness
him, "Hey,
gracious.
you know, what's wrong with your brain?" And
You know we're going on 2, right? Not 1.5.
yeah, but I mean, Simmons, I'm more in Bo's court here. It's his very first game, and you know, but I understand what you're saying, Scott. Like it's not what you want to see, right? That
He's the starting
situation.
left
It's like
tackle, man.
it's like it's okay. You're a rookie. Like you're gonna get a false start. Everybody's gonna end up getting false starts, but you're gonna get a false start there, right?
Right.
Like when the field position is like most important, we're just giving up 10 yards. And so do you guys? I mean, do you feel like this is like a talent issue, or like it's like we keep getting different people and they just keep not performing? Do you think there's like coaching issues on the line? What do you like? What do you think is the root cause there?
Dude, with like Juwan Taylor, right? Like you kind of hit the nail right on the head when you said there was like 6 that they didn't call. If like you're gonna get away with it, you're gonna do it, right? We talked to professional players on this show that say like, no, I hold every play until the ref calls it, right? Like I can't. Some of these guys are impossible to stop, kind of thing. I think he's just gotten away with so many more than he's actually gotten called on. That's his muscle memory now. You know, I don't. I don't think it has anything to do with coaching. The coaches tell him, stay still, right? Like that's the only
wait for
coaching
this ball.
point. Like,
watch the ball.
yeah, watch the ball get snapped and then you move, right? But I think he just has that muscle memory now.
Yeah, no, it's bad. To me, the coaches are trying to tell him to block and open holes and give Patrick time, but they're just not doing it. So, again, not going to burn the whole thing down over one game, but just overall, that's what stood out to me. Like I said, when they've just spent so much like resources at that position group, it should be better, and it should be better week 1. But we'll see how they look week 2. It doesn't get any easier with the Eagles coming to town. We'll break that down here in a little bit. So, bright spot, Patrick Mahomes. He was Patrick Mahomes, man. He was him out there keeping plays alive, running. I mean, he had some really, really nice throws. The throw to Thornton there on the sideline to get him in field goal range at the end of the first half. We saw a reappearance of the Superman throw where the dude's horizontal in the air and manages to get it to Juju. Bo, this was one of the more impressive Patrick Mahomes performances I can remember, certainly in recent memory.
Completely. It just unfortunately happened on the day where he was the only one that showed up and wanted to play, right? And like everybody else that wanted to play showed up second half, and it was just a little too late. No, I mean, super impressive performance, classic Mahomes stuff, right? I think I'm of the opinion now that if I see him do that horizontal throw, I'm not liking this game. You know, we've seen it a couple times, and all the games we've kind of lost, and so it's just like I don't know if I like that throw anymore. But I mean, what more can you ask of the guy? He literally puts the game on his back, right? Like Nick was pointing out earlier, scrambles when you need him to make first downs. He'll truck guys on the sideline. He's kind of damned if he does, damned if he doesn't too, on the whole sideline stuff, right? I saw so many people online like, oh, he's taking advantage of the rules, hitting that guy. That guy was letting up, and like
he got lit up a couple times over by the sideline in that game.
That was my response to them, right? Like, well, when you get hit, you're gonna hit back after so many times, right? But no, I just stellar performance. The pass to Kelsey was sick, right? And the touchdown that was great. Even that pass to Noah Gray, where like he kind of ran backwards and everything, that was still a clutch pass, like in the moments of time. Like you just know, like in that time, like, okay, we got Mahomes. What's he going to do? Oh, yep, catches his guy. Didn't go out of bounds, but then that fire alarm drill, that was pretty cool for that 59-yard field goal. But hell of a game from number 15.
Nick, Patrick Mahomes, where does that rank maybe, or all-time great performance? I mean, the guy's had so many of them.
I mean, it's hard, right? I mean, he had a season's worth of highlights in game 1.
Right,
I'll say that. Like if you
career
saw
highlights for some of these guys. I mean,
if you saw like a decent quarterback and they were doing their their season ending, hell, these are the best plays, you'd be like, damn, that guy's pretty badass. And I mean, it's like that's all just week 1. So I mean, I think he understood what his team needed, and he was doing everything he could to try to get them back into the game, right? Look, the whole thing on the sideline, like there's no way to win. It's if he goes out of bounds and he's like, oh well, Josh Allen like lowers his shoulder and takes people out. He lowers his shoulder and takes people out, and it's he's taking advantage of the rules. Like that guy wasn't letting up. And Patrick wasn't faking going out of bounds or anything. Like the defender was right there. Patrick saw him and he's coming at him, and he's like, I can take a shot here, and and then I can talk a little shit on the sideline with the division opponents, and I can get my guys a little bit of energy there. Like you get caught slipping, right? Isn't that what Chris Jones like them talk about? Like just like I got caught slipping, like at practice, like they came and dunked on me, like. I just think that like you can't be on a football field and not thinking you're going to attack. So
yeah, when you're between the white chalk, man, it's fair game. And he had taken a couple of hits as he was running to the sideline. People that are out there saying that he faked, like you said, going out of bounds. He never faked or stopped. Like he was making a beeline. He was running to the sideline, but. Hey, man, and even if the defender would have or did let up, that's his problem. That's his fault. You're still in the field of play. It's hit or be hit on a lot of these things. And Patrick Mahomes is not a frail guy, right? He's not one of these skinny quarterbacks that is a statue and stands in the pocket. We saw it the 49ers game. Was that last year, right? Where he ran the guy over on the way into the end zone. You got to have your head on a swivel, man, and you got to go after him. And to me, that was just leadership on display, taking that guy lower in the shoulder and running over him as he's going to the sideline. And he stood up and he did was looking around like, come on, who wants some more of this, right? That fired the team
that doesn't
up
inspire the rest of the team.
That almost fired him up as much as whatever Andy Reid said at halftime. So, yeah, definitely encouraged by the performance that Patrick Mahomes had. He looks like he is in mid-season form. No interceptions. That was a big part of last season right out of the gate in the start of the year. People were talking about drops were still an issue with the receivers. But, Patrick comes out, throws for a touchdown, runs for another touchdown. No interceptions, no turnovers. That was another encouraging sign too, right? Was like the offense, no turnovers in that game.
I think Nick's frozen, but I completely agree.
Froze up.
There were a couple turnovers, especially early last season, where it wasn't like Patrick overthrew somebody or it was like a miss run by the receiver, like they ran the wrong route. Excuse me. Sorry, my dogs are going off here.
You're okay.
But there were a couple interceptions where you were just kind of like, whoa, dude, what was that? And I did not see any of that or any signs of like him being that kind of off.
Right.
When was it? When did they play? Friday? I'm so used to saying
Friday night.
But Friday night, yeah.
Nick, you were saying something. You kind of froze up there.
Yeah, sorry. The only thing I'll say is like he had a couple opportunities on Thornton that he didn't connect on. It seems like he's still trying to, learn that receiver. I think it's when you're passing dust for somebody that's not quite as fast. So I'll give him a pass there because he did connect later, right, on a couple of deep balls. So I just that's the only kind of critical thing I would say is that, we had a couple opportunities. But man, how promising is that Thornton looks like he's like getting open deep a lot, right?
Right. Yeah, no.
It's looking like maybe that guy it's going to be a baller.
Right. He's a speedster, and the Chiefs are going to need that with Xavier Worthy injured and Rashee Rice being on suspension for another, 5 games, right? 6-game suspension. He'll be back week 7. So, Hollywood Brown has some targets. Travis Kelce, let's talk about him real quick. He looked good to me. I know people were saying that he wasn't winning and he wasn't getting open, and outside of the long touchdown pass, they weren't really able to get him going. Look, after Xavier Worthy went out, I guarantee you the Chargers game plan and coaching staff at that point was like, okay, well, we're going to
that man.
Shut down Travis Kelce. We're not going to let him beat us now that we're not as worried about Xavier Worthy out there. And Pat made it work, and other guys stepped up. Juju had a nice game. Hollywood Brown had a terrible drop in the first half on 3rd down that killed a drive. But outside of that, he was making some catches, and he got open deep on the long 4th down completion that we talked about that really, really kind of shifted the momentum and back to the Chiefs there and was able to get points. Travis was a half a step, maybe a slight communication. Don't know what happened on the play down there at the goal line, but he was close to having an 80 or 90-yard performance with 2 touchdowns. Bo, how encouraged are you by what you saw out of Travis Kelce, his first game back from being svelte, as Andy Reid called him, and all the talk about him being in better shape and maybe more dedicated or refocused this year?
Yeah. No, I mean, what I saw is super encouraging, right? It wasn't the 100 yards, 150-yard performance where 4 touchdowns we're used to seeing, or not used to seeing, but we have seen before. But he got a tud. There's been times in his career where that's taken 4 or 5 games, and everybody's like, "Oh, is he even going to get him?" Right? And so he almost had 2. I can't chalk up a lot of these mistakes to like, oh, this is who the Chiefs are now. I think a lot of this is week 1, just jitters, and like, dude, it was an international game, and I know you can't like blame the travel and all that stuff on the players, especially when the Chargers do it too, and they came out and played. But there is something to that. There's like it's an 11-hour flight. Nick, like flights like that, it just does something weird to your body and your brain. You're not the same person for the next couple of days.
And a 2-hour ride to the stadium, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's a whole other ball of wax.
Wild facilities, right? So
yeah.
Not trying to use these as excuses or anything. I'm just saying there's like a lot that's going into play. If you're like looking at a player like, well, why don't you think he had like 3 touchdowns? And like, why is he not going to be performing that well this year? Like, I think it's just a lot of week 1 stuff. International game was kind of weird. I kind of think I even called this one kind of chalking a loss up to the Chargers week 1 because of all the circumstances that I just mentioned.
Right.
But
no,
I really liked what I saw out of him, man. Like, I think he still has a feel for the game, even though he missed his route 3 plays in and kind of took our own guy out. I still feel like what I saw from him, he still knows how to block. He still knows how to get open. He's still the go-to guy. He's still TMFK in my book.
Right.
I expect big things from him this season.
Right. I wonder how much of that was like him falling on the sword maybe for the whole Xavier Worthy thing. Because, God, I got to think like the 13-year veteran guy. But he sounded sincere like on New Heights when he said that he screwed it up. So, Nick, encouraged by what you saw to Travis Kelce, considering the circumstances?
Yeah, I mean, I think everything that Bo said, and then add on top of it, just that their game plan kind of got totally shuffled around on the 3rd play.
Yeah, for sure.
And so I am okay with what I saw. Right, I think that's kind of the plan, is for Kelce to not be like the guy. You'd like when people got hurt if he could go out, obviously, and have like 150 yard game. But like, the Chiefs just aren't in a position right now, talent wise on offense, with Rice and Worthy not out there, where people aren't just going to like hawk Kelce. And then I don't think Mahomes has enough time really to wait for Kelce to find that seam. I just don't think it works like that, right? With the way that the line was playing versus the coverage. So, look, Travis has still got it. He's going to be fine. I mean, that was a sick touchdown.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
if you take away that one really awesome touchdown that where he ran a perfect route, caught the pass, and outran the defender to the end zone, then he didn't do anything. It's like, okay, cool, but he did that. Like, he did that in the game, right? So like, I don't.
It happened.
It's just like a weird argument, right? Where you like, if you take something away, it wasn't really all that good. It's like, yeah, of course. Like, if you take away the ice cream, you just got a bowl. Like, I get it,
he still had the speed to get down the sideline and get to the end zone and not let the defenders get an angle on him, right?
Right.
So, look, man, even if Justin Jefferson goes out and has a 130 or 140 yard game, that's a really good game for him, man. Like, if Travis Kelce, if we can just count on him to be in that 60 to 80-ish range, even for like a slow game, maybe.
You mean like a normal tight end range?
Man. Yeah, like there's going to be games against bad teams or bad defenses where he's going to eat too. The Chargers have the number 1 scoring defense in the NFL last year. There's no slouch. Jim Harbaugh is a defensive kind of minded coach, right? Old school football, play defense, run the ball, which they didn't really do a whole lot of running the ball. That is in the game that
didn't need to.
We'll talk about the defense here pretty quick. So no, I was encouraged by what I saw from Patrick. I was encouraged what I saw out of Travis. I was encouraged by what I saw out of Hollywood Brown, Juju Smith-Schuster. I feel like people have been saying that dude's knee has been a ticking time bomb for 3 or 4 seasons now, and he's a go-to guy, man. Especially when things aren't right. As long as that fuse on that sucker was a mile and a half long. So, there was bright spots on the offense. The defense, Nick, you mentioned the secondary earlier on when things that most concerned you. What I saw out of the defense, and especially the secondary, was miscommunications and guys having a hard time running into each other, maybe blowing assignments. A lot of those routes weren't, if you watch, it wasn't that the defenders were just getting beat and man coverage. They were playing zone and they were running into each other. There's 2 guys in one zone, which means another zone's going to be open. So, look, man, we put out there on the Chiefs Kingdom Live X account. If you're not following us on social media, check us out there. It's like Bo's got it there and the title. It's like, in Spags we trust. Remember the T-shirts? And now they have one bad game, and all of a sudden it's like they can't play defense. The defense is toast, and Spags can get his head out of his ass. Like, I don't know, man. Bo, the defense
Thanks, Greg.
seemed to be pretty correctable errors, right? I mean, do you really expect Keenan Allen, at however old he is, to be out there just torching the Chiefs maybe in the second go around, or any other NFL defenses and looking like prime Keenan Allen?
No, man. And like, yeah, having, 7 seconds to run around, I feel like we could get open and look pretty good like Keenan Allen does. But as far as the defense goes, man, this is familiar territory. I can't tell you how many seasons we've started off with such a shaky defense. And then by the, week 13, week 14, they're talking about, are we a top 5 defense?
Right.
So there's a reason I put in Spags we trust, because I kind of alluded to it earlier in the show. Like, you saw the ability of the coaches to change the players' mindset at halftime, right? We looked abysmal that first half. Whatever they said, whether it's like, hey, just fix this or get your ass in line, probably a little bit more colorful language. It worked, man. And you apply that over the season, I have complete confidence in all of our coaches, right? Especially Spags, to get this defense turned around. And you pointed out, man, the stuff that you saw that you didn't really like, I think that's really fixable. Communication. Okay. Who didn't communicate where and why, right? And that's easily fixable. To me, I'm just a little bit more concerned about that D line getting pressure. I don't know like how easy of a fix that is for a guy just to immediately get stronger, but we'll see.
Yeah. Nick, I mean, the defense, like, overly concerned, not too concerned. And what did you kind of take?
I mean,
young guys out there.
Shocking. I'll say it's shocking, right? I understand that, if you can't get pressure, eventually they'll find an open guy. They shouldn't be finding like a guy with nobody within 5 yards of him, like over
no
and
one
over
in the
and over
TV
again.
screen.
And it was schemed that way, right? And so, I'm sure that we have the defensive coaching staff that can take a look at that and coach those guys up. I think what we saw was the gap, like the veteran gap from losing Justin Reed from last season is what I think you saw in those mid-range passes, like over the center of the field and stuff. I think that was like where that dude lived and breathed, and they were, they just took advantage of it. And so I think it's going to get better. It's not doom and gloom, but it's definitely not the performance that we were looking for, right? Like, we were just all kind of hoping as Chiefs fans, like, man, let's just we're going to get that. I've been waiting to get that taste out of my mouth from the Super Bowl, right?
Oh, yeah.
And then come out to have a lackluster performance. And, kind of over the last couple of seasons now, it's like the defense has been okay. Like, the defense is going to hang in there, and the defense just wasn't able to hang in there during that game. When the Chiefs offense started coming alive, they weren't able to get that last stop, right? To see if Patrick can make the comeback, right? And we're just not used to that. And so that was disheartening as a fan, right? When, you're like, all right, dude, 3rd and 14. And then, your hallmark defensive player looks like he makes maybe a mental error going inside. But yeah, I think that that's really what it is it's just, they've got a younger unit back there than they had last year. And they got taken advantage of, man.
I think maybe there's some of it too. Like, maybe Chris Jones needs to maybe learn his limitations a little bit. I think 2 or 3 year younger Chris Jones probably still gets to Justin Herbert on that inside move, right? So, maybe. The most concerning thing about the defense to me, the secondary. Look, we still got Trey McDuffie. Jalen Watson's shown that he can make plays in the corner position. Jaden Hicks has shown flashes, especially last year, that he can come in and make plays. To me, it was the 3rd and long again. We talked about it on last week's show going into this thing.
Yeah.
Where the defense, it was the story of the defense last year was their inability to get off the field, not just on 3rd and long, but when you get the other team in 2nd and 15 or 2nd and 20 and you give up an 18-yard play, so now it's 3rd and 2, or it's 3rd and 14 and you give up 13.5 yards. Now they're going for it on 4th down. Even
on their
when
own
they
side
get
of the field.
right, as when they're getting these teams where they do get a sack, then to just basically give up all the yardage back on the next play or two, to where you're either giving up 3rd and long or you're getting them in position to go for it on a 3rd and short or a 4th and short after a 2nd and 3rd and long. That was a carryover from last year that maybe has me a little bit more concerned about anything else. Bo, I mean,
Yeah, it was
What?
wild that like we highlighted that specifically, and then it was like 3rd and 14, and they gave it up.
All
And
night.
like, dude, not only did I hear your voice the very first play of the game, which we also highlighted, why do they run it on 1st and 10 right up the middle? But then that too. I just heard your play. Like, God.
I'll be checking my mailbox for my $5. By the way, it was easiest bet I ever won in my life. Was if you watched the show, if you missed the show last week, Bo and I had a bet that a first play on offense coming out the gate would be a run up the middle, and
I thought it was too predictable. I thought it was too predictable that they had to go with something else, man.
Not after 5 years or however long it's been, man.
All right. Wait, true gambler's addiction right here coming out. Double or nothing. This upcoming game. You think we're gonna do the same thing?
With no Xavier Worthy, dude, I'll
it's coming, bro. Like, why do you do this to yourself?
How much money are you willing to lose? That's really the question.
It'll hit.
Not. Yeah, no, it was definitely frustrating, but a bright spot on the defense, I thought. Drew Tranquill, I kind of been wondering about him. He's a guy that he's not like an old player, but he's starting to get up there in age, and he's like a veteran player at this point. He was out there flying around, man, making plays. A little bit of it, I'm sure, is like you always get that extra juice when you play your old team too, right? So there's some of that, I'm sure. But, I mean, Drew Tranquill, old AAA Tranquill, to the rescue on a few plays there, man. He looked good.
Yeah, dude, he about took Justin Herbert's head off.
Man, he blew him up.
He was fired up. He was fired up at the end, too, with the mistake that Chris Jones made. So, I mean, it's good to see him having that leadership role, flying around the field, making plays. He's a person that, a player that ever since he's come to Chiefs Kingdom, I think he since the first episode of the franchise where like you could tell he's like just like in awe, like being, at Arrowhead and like, dude, like this is where like, this is my home stadium now.
Right.
I think he just has fit in really well. And yeah, dude, like he's a gamer, right? He's a soldier. He's like the dude that's going to go in, he's going to get, like do the dirty work, right? Like he's going to make some of those like Dirty Dan type plays where, it's like, dude, like you're not doing this today. Right. And it was great to see him come out of the gates. I think he had maybe a little bit of injury concern, like in the preseason or like training camp. And so it's good to see that. I mean, it didn't look like he had anything lingering in that game.
Right.
So.
Right.
No,
yeah. So look, there was definitely frustrating aspects of that game. Some players, position groups underperformed, but others looked good. And so I think there's like a good reason to still be optimistic about the team moving forward. Eagles come to town week 2, the home opener, right, for Kansas City Chiefs.
That's right.
Looks like we got Martha's down there in the chat.
Martha.
What's up, Martha? Good to see you. Thanks for
What's up,
stopping
everybody
in.
the chat. We haven't really said anybody. What's up, race car?
Seeing the chat going along there. Yeah, I've been seeing people.
Cousin Greg, saw a shout out there.
Oh yeah,
John
Cousin
C.
Greg.
Always good to see you, sir.
Right. Yeah.
Kevin Cable.
Y'all make the show.
I'm missing
We're
you
here
guys.
for you.
Sorry.
You're not
Susan?
here.
Brian.
Yeah, we're here for you. You all are what make the show go. So we appreciate it. Eagles, Nick. Just feeling about the game.
Yeah, why the fuck did it have to be week 2?
Did the Chiefs have a chance in this game? How much of a struggle or how much of a test or a battle is this going to be?
Yeah, it's a huge test, right? I mean, it's the team that embarrassed you in the Super Bowl. It's a team that you have a history with the coach. It's a team you've beat in the Super Bowl. So I mean, these are the teams that have been there multiple times, right? Like in the league, it's like the 49ers and the Eagles and the Chiefs are kind of those teams that have like the pedigree of winning in the postseason and being the current like elite teams in the league. And so this is a huge test. I don't think it's hopeless, right? I wish like, we had one of our top 2 wide receivers, but I think that game plan wise, we have a good coaching staff. Part of me was wondering, after that Chargers game, if like, I don't know if you can look past a week 1 opponent really, but were they thinking about the Eagles game, right? Like how much were they thinking about the Eagles game?
Man, we always beat the Chargers, right?
We always beat the Chargers. And I'm not saying that they, they didn't pay attention to their opponent. But you do wonder. I mean, dude, there's a lot of people that are still on this team that were thinking about that Super Bowl, right? So, that Mahomes has been thinking about this game ever since that Super Bowl ended. So, I'm looking for the Chiefs to come out with a lot of fight, a lot of spunk, and I'm looking for them to play a hard game of football against the Eagles. That's what I'm looking for.
Play a hard game of football. Nice.
Yeah, dude. I mean,
I think
that's it. you got to against the Eagles.
I mean, I think it's going to be a big test. I think a lot more weight's getting put on this game than actually needs to be. It's not.
As far as the season, it doesn't mean that much,
right? Right. This is more just for it reminds me of the Banff belt in the UFC, right? This is just for the fans, right? Or a redemption for Chiefs fans, essentially. But I mean, it's. I'm going to say it, Scott. The Super Bowl rematch, right? There's no trophy on the line, but it's the teams who played in the Super Bowl rematching each other. I think there's I think you hit the nail right on the head, Nick. I think there's just a lot of angst or a lot of anger that these guys want to get out. They want to get rid of that feeling of oh man, I could have played harder if only I did this, right? I think they want that second shot at redemption there. Well, I'm ready for a great game. Scott, you think this is a big test?
Yeah, it's going to
be big. Town?
Yeah, it's going to be a big test. I understand maybe in the big picture of the season, it's not necessarily the biggest game, but losing the game against the Chargers, if you lose this game, you're looking at 0-2. It's a home loss. The Chiefs were undefeated at home last year. So, yeah, look, these teams are I know the Super Bowl didn't look even, but if you look at this, Patrick Mahomes and Jalen Hurts are 2-2, right, against each other with these teams in the last handful of years. The Chiefs are going to have, like we mentioned at the beginning of the show, they're going to have an entire week to game plan without Worthy. And, maybe this is where you use some of those plays. Maybe you were saving for later in the season. It's not a must win, but I feel like if they can find a way to win this game, man, that is going to really put a lot of wind in their sails, right? After the way last week went,
it'll erase a lot of doubt.
Yeah. And everybody is talking about, the Chiefs don't have a chance in this game. There's no way they can win. Maybe getting embarrassed twice in a row after kind of getting embarrassed by the Chargers and then the coming off the Super Bowl against this team in particular. I don't think you have to worry about anybody coming out flat and not ready to play in this one. Bo, I mean, what do you think? Look, the Eagles, they looked beatable against the Cowboys. I don't think anybody was expecting the Cowboys or thinks they're some juggernaut contending Super Bowl team this year. They gave the Eagles all they wanted and then some at home and had the lead a couple times in that game. The weird weather delay. If CeeDee Lamb catches a couple of passes, maybe the Cowboys actually pull off the upset, man. What do you think the Chiefs need to do to beat the Eagles Sunday?
Well, that defense looked super suspect, right? They let a lot of points get scored on them. So, if we can get our offense in shape, I think that, obviously scoring the most points is going to be beneficial, but that's been our inability, is just get touchdowns for the past couple years, man. Our first couple drives, whether it's, we get the ball first or second, we just have this inability to get in the end zone. We settle for field goals instead of touchdowns. So we just need to get on the same page, get 6 points on the board instead of 3, and I think that'll go a long way right out of the bat to setting the tone of the game. Yeah, man. There's, you're right. There was a lot of takeaways from that game where, if the Chiefs attack it right, they have this in hand. But there's arguments on both sides of the ball, right? There's a lot we have to fix up too, man. They have a ferocious run game, and our run defense wasn't that great. Jalen Hurts, as much as he gets criticized as a bad passer, dude, he's right up there. He's top 5 in my book. So there's a lot we got to clean up. But yeah, man, if we can get our offense rolling right from the beginning, I think that's going to set a huge tone. We came to play, let's go, right? And we kind of already mentioned the defense kind of getting better week to week already. So let's see what a week does, with some tape and being able to fix some of those mistakes.
Nick, what's the kind of what do you think the key to the game would be to get to 1-1 on the season here?
Yeah, the key to the Super Bowl was the offensive line for the Chiefs and their inability to block 4 rushers consistently for Patrick Mahomes. And then the defense's inability to get pressure on Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is one of the worst quarterbacks like in league history when he's pressured. Throws a lot of interceptions, he mostly will throw the ball out of bounds. So I mean, I think that that's the key, right? Like, it's like, can we protect Mahomes and give him enough time and get these guys a little bit of confidence to start, so that they don't feel like they're like in the quicksand again, right? Like they were in the Super Bowl. And it's like, oh no, it's all happening again, right? So, I mean, I think that that's really the long and the short of it. That was the glaring thing that stood out after the Super Bowl. That's what the Chiefs went and they spent a lot of money on, and they spent draft capital on, and now you're playing that same team again. And Jalen Carter, I think is his name, right? The dirtbag that spit on Dak Prescott. He got suspended, which is great news, but the problem is they suspended him for the game.
He got
thrown out of. Well, they said they suspended him for the game, the game that he got thrown out of, or however they worded that. Like, they're like, well, he basically just lost a whole game, and that would have been like a 1-game thing. But so he's going to be playing. Good, right? Like, the Chiefs, like, these guys were not just, they didn't just beat the Chiefs. They went through the city and they had belts and they like talked like mad shit about the Chiefs and were very disrespectful. And I just like want the Chiefs to come out and I want them to punch these guys in the mouth and shut them the fuck up. Like, that's what I want, And
Let's go.
You start that by dominating on the line and giving Patrick plenty of time, because as we saw, he can make magic happen, right? If you give him the time to throw the ball. So,
I worry about Jalen Carter on Kingsley. I worry about the Eagles defense finding ways to get him in one-on-one matchups with that guy.
Easy.
If you're the Chiefs, you can't let that dude wreck the entire line. You can't let that happen. So that's going to be a tall task. The funny thing about the Jalen Carter thing is like, well, they're like, well, since he missed the entire game, that was like being suspended 1 game. And it was like, okay, so if someone gets kicked out at the start of a second quarter of a game,
does that qualify
when you go to
as a
suspend
game,
them, do they get to like play like 1 quarter of the following game and are suspended because they missed that? That was like one of the most ridiculous things I've ever heard. Like, not only
to steel man the other side.
To it.
To steel man the other side, though, they said that he did it before the game started, so it wasn't technically a part of the game, right? So like, I agree with you, but I'm just like I've said, steel manning the other side of it. Like, he got kicked out before the game started, so that's their justification.
That's called an ejection or disqualification. That's not a suspension.
It was after the kickoff, right?
Those aren't the same thing. Yeah, I thought it was after the kickoff.
It was after the kickoff, so the game started.
I didn't see it, so
it was after the kickoff. Like, whatever. Look, he's going to be there. He's going to play.
Right.
I
guess my whole thing is, if you get ejected at halftime, are you going to get suspended a game? But then they're going to start saying, oh, well, you missed half of the last game, so you can play in half of this upcoming game.
You can come in at halftime of the next game.
You won't do that. It's absurd. It's ridiculous. And with all this nonsense about, oh, it's rigged for the Chiefs and the refs and the league love the Chiefs, they've never done anything that egregious or blatant or obvious to help us out. And it's just because it's the Eagles. And it's because they're playing the Chiefs. I guarantee you, if it was a different team or if the Eagles weren't playing the Chiefs, that dude probably would be facing suspension this week. That's my opinion. I don't know if anybody agrees with that or not, but
don't disagree.
Yeah, you start taking into account of like how much time you played or didn't play in a game you get kicked out of into account for the suspension for the following game. Nah, man, that's Bush League. That's not Major League stuff right there. So,
what's your key to this game, Scott? What do you think the Chiefs need to do to secure a victory here?
I think you're going to need another miracle performance out of Patrick Mahomes.
Might not be wrong, man.
Listen, not that he needs to go out there and do it all by himself, but he's going to have to go out there and play like he did in that last game. I think
it's
he's
funny
the key
how
to carrying the team right now until you can get some of these weapons back, get some guys in there.
I just think it's funny how people still want us to be dead, like the Chiefs. Like they like look at us like, oh, the Chiefs are suspect right now. we haven't had a wide receiver 1 or 2 now for 2 years running,
Right.
man. And like,
Right.
we're still like one of the top contenders. Show me another team where you take away their top 2 receivers. Oh, it's Lady. Hello. Show me another team where you take away their top 2 receivers and they perform well, right? Few and far between in this league.
Laney R making a cameo appearance here on CKL. Yeah, I mean, I would like to say if you could run the ball to try to keep the ball away from the Eagles, but I haven't seen the Chiefs do that in
No,
so
we're not
long,
going to
man.
run. I mean, we're not going to win the game running the ball. It's going to be Patrick
No.
Mahomes being able to push the ball downfield.
And it's going to be Andy Reid and company scheming some things up and getting some guys open. So they got a week to prepare. Definitely the defense has got to get it together. You can't. I mean, the Chargers had Old Man Allen and McConkey and Quentin Johnson out there. You got A.J. Brown, you got Devontae Smith on the other side this week.
Different caliber, right?
Yeah, you're going to have to make sure you're tight in your assignments, and you got to make sure you're doing your job in that secondary. So, but no, the idea that this is like Chiefs have 0% chance to win this game, to me, it is wild. It's at home, and they're coming off a loss, and they're going to be pissed. So, I mean, I don't know, Nick, any other thoughts about this game? Or
No, it's going to be tough. It's so weird because like after the way that the season ended and everything, I just lost the respect that I had for the Eagles and the city and stuff. And like, I know that they've always been tough, but man, they were just like, hanging effigies of Mahomes as Kermit and stuff. And like, it was just like really distasteful, but like, I really like Jalen Hurts as a person. So it's like, it's tough because I'm like he's like, I think he's a good
cool.
dude. He seems like a good
You're
dude,
cool.
and he works hard, right? And he
I
says the
like
right thing.
Jalen Hurts. But
Yeah. He
I
just,
don't know,
he,
he's
so
up there.
I just, I just am hopefully it's like a good quarterback duel, right? I hope that the secondary can keep up, but yeah, I just really think it's going to come down to, can we protect Patrick and get some of those deep balls connected, right? That
Be huge.
that were missed in the last game, but also connected, right? Like I saw that they were trying to push the ball down the field, and so if we can do that, I think we're going to be all right.
Right. Bo, anything else you want to touch on? You guys want to give your picks for this game, or?
Yeah, I'll give a pick and touch on. Just really hoping that O-line is retinkered enough to where we don't have happy feet Mahomes.
They're gonna have to play better.
I still
than they
feel
did
like
last week, man.
you give that. Yeah, exactly. You give that guy some time though. It's going to be a dangerous year if Mahomes has time, right? If we see him scrambling all year, it's going to be a lot of what we've seen in the past 2 games. But get that offensive rolling. But for this game, I don't think it's going to be as like high scoring as like week 1 were for both teams. I'm thinking somewhere in the teens. Let's go 17-14 Chiefs. I think it's going to be might be a defensive battle here.
Yeah, that would be huge, man, if the Chiefs defense could contain the Eagles. And really what killed the Cowboys last week against the Eagles was them losing their contain and not keeping Jalen Hurts. He had 2 rushing touchdowns in that game. I think he had 2 passes to Devontae Smith and 1 completion to A.J. Brown. Luckily, Team We're Not Worthy survived the 1.6 point performance from A.J. Brown in the whiskey fantasy football league. Yeah, I did. So,
did you make that Higgins trade?
No.
No.
Nope, I did not. If they could hold the Eagles into the teens points wise, man, that would be monumental. To steal a term from Jim Harbaugh, and their monumental week 1 win against the Chiefs, bro. The fact that you said that, like, it's going around all over social media. Man, I just can't imagine saying after a regular season game. Nick, you got a score prediction? Make sure you throw your score prediction here in the chat.
Yeah. I'm gonna look.
If you're watching at home,
can't pick the Chiefs to lose. I just can't do it. Chiefs are gonna win 33-30. I think they have to score. I think they have to score 30 to win in this game out of what we've seen out of the defense last week. Right. So, I mean, they almost gave up 30 to the Chargers, and the Eagles are a much better offense. So that's what I think. I think we're going to have to come out, scoring on offense, and we're going to have to push the ball down the field.
Right. So we got Wolves asking if their defensive tackle is playing. I'm assuming he's talking about Jalen Carter. Yeah, we were just talking about
he
that
is
one.
playing. Yep.
He's playing. He's the first player in NFL history, I believe, to get a suspension/ejection for one game. So
We all know he hawked Tua's on that thing.
right. I'm going. Let's see here. I can't pick the Chiefs to score 30, man, without Rashee Rice and Xavier Worthy out there. I mean, I know Juju's been admirable and Hollywood Brown.
Taekwon with 3.
Yeah,
Come on,
Taekwon
let's get it up there.
That's a huge thing there. So John C's calling BS on Carter. Yeah, it is a bunch of BS. It certainly is. Let's see. I'm going to go 27-24 Chiefs. Harrison Butker, game-winning field goal.
Do we know what the actual line is in Vegas? Here, I'll look it up.
Chiefs are, I want to say, like 2 or 3 point underdog at home. Pretty sure it was at 2.5 last time I saw it. It might have moved. Those things are always kind of fluctuating around depending on how the money is getting put down.
Depending
But
on which site you're looking at, too.
Right.
Let's see here. 1.5 underdogs.
yeah, okay, maybe it's moved up. So yeah, I mean, if you've used the old home team gets 3 points, they're looking at the Chiefs as basically a little more than the field goal underdog in this game. Yeah, Patrick just losing like 0-2 to start a season. That's never happened in his career. To do it at home, man. The Eagles, they looked vulnerable to me. And look, the Chiefs, they've shown they can stop the run. They can shut down Saquon Barkley. I think that's going to be big again. So, yeah, John C. understands the difference between a suspension and an ejection.
Yeah, completely.
NFL league office doesn't. But, look, that's just kissing the Eagles' ass is all that is. That's bowing down to them. Plain and simple. Laney's picking the
Laney's
Chiefs
got
to get
30, 27.
All right. I like it.
Race car
I'm
here.
liking it.
Oh, double click.
Race car.
Race car 27-24 Chiefs.
There you go.
Everybody's got a close game.
Yeah, it's going to be a close game. It's going to be a close game. Chiefs are going to win a close game or they're going to lose. I have a feeling. I don't think there's going to be any blowouts. Going the Chiefs' way just with circumstances and the injury situation with Xavier Worthy. But there's been talk about this man
where you're
returning. I don't know. I can't.
Were you chomping at the bit when you started hearing that news? It's like, oh boy.
Well, if you follow Chiefs Kingdom Live on social media, you will know. And if you watch the show, we are usually ahead of the curve on.
We're on this one.
These kind of things.
Give some props on this one.
If you follow us on X, you would have seen we put out a post on Saturday after the game Friday night. That was like, listen, like, here's out. There's a guy in Miami, and the story is things ain't going so well out there. And you may know him. You may have heard of this man before. His name's Tyreek Hill. He's the cheetah.
That guy.
And then Sunday, at some point after the Dolphins got down big to the Indianapolis Colts, then it caught fire, and everybody was talking about bringing Tyreek Hill back to the Chiefs. I'm going to go first on this one. Listen, man, I got my Tyreek Hill jersey up in the closet, and if I could go to a game this year at Arrowhead and wear my cheetah jersey again, man, you have no idea how much happiness that would bring to me. Look, here's the deal. I would love it. It makes sense. He's familiar with the offense. If you traded for somebody else, they got to come in and learn the system and get caught up to speed on everything, the terminology, the playbook. The man knows already. He was not his normal cheetah self last year, but he suffered through injury, and they had quarterback hell with all of the injuries and the concussions. And with Tua, who, man, I really hope that guy's all right after watching the way he played Sunday, man. Like, that's concerning a little bit that the way he performed and came out there. But look, here's the biggest issue with me. Like, I don't think the Dolphins are going to wave the white flag on the season after 1 or 2 losses. And so then at that point, if they're not going to give in till week 5 or 6 or, a few weeks ahead of the trade deadline, you're getting Xavier Worthy back at that point, hopefully, and you're getting Rashee Rice back definitely from suspension. So I would love for it to happen. I think it makes all the sense in the world to happen, but they're going to need to do it here soon because the need is immediate for someone to come in and help this offense. Nick, you in favor of bringing Tyreek Hill back? You think Chiefs can swing it? Does it make sense?
I mean, what's the cost?
I don't know. He wants out of there, so
somewhere in the 50 million range. I heard 54.
Yeah,
I'm
the
talking about
Dolphins are gonna have
like
to pay
the
that.
draft pick range, right? Like
I'm thinking they're probably going to want a second or third round pick. Would be my guess, and maybe another player, not a marquee big name player, right? I saw someone on X say we'll trade him a third round pick and Juwan Taylor. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh my god! I hope they would take
what I was
that
gonna
deal.
say.
I don't think they're
Sign
going
that
to take
deal.
that deal. So,
I mean, I would absolutely love to have Tyreek Hill back on the team.
whew, man, so fun.
You know, I think that he would love to be back on the team. I mean, I don't think he wanted to leave, right? I mean, I think he wanted the money, and so he left. But like, I don't think he wanted to leave. I think that he, you know, knew he had a good thing there. But yeah, dude, like, if you could get him, but I mean, to your point, if you can't get him until you've already got all your guys back, then it's not worth the sacrifice, right? Because you know he is getting a little bit older. Like, I don't know how old is Tyreek Hill now?
I don't know. He's probably close to 30, right?
Yeah, 28 maybe. So he's like what, Juju's age?
He got here a year before Patrick, right?
I think he's older than 30. I think he's 32. I don't know why.
I don't know if he's that old, but I mean, we can look it up.
Yeah. So look, I mean,
also, Nick, I mean, I know I said that, and it
31.
depends on the need, but like, it also that kind of factors in, like, how much of an Xavier Worthy are you gonna get back if he does come back from injury?
yeah. Well, and for how long, right? Like, how long is it going to take before he's fully recovered? And if you got Tyreek Hill,
Right.
you could be like, dude, just like,
Yeah,
just get good, right? Get your stuff right before you go back out on the field.
right.
Yeah, dude, how awesome would that be
Yeah.
to have Kelsey, Kareem Hunt,
Oh,
the Cheetah,
man.
and Patrick Mahomes back out on the field together?
I just
Getting the
realized
band
that.
back together.
That'd be
baby.
awesome.
We're getting the band. We're getting the band back together.
Go play some unk ball, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Now, we also preface this with too, because there's new allegations from his wife, I believe it is, his recent ex-wife, maybe it's his ex-wife now, about some domestic violence issues. There's been accusations in the past that held up and didn't hold up against Tyreek Hill. Not quite sure where that's at. That's definitely something the Chiefs got to keep an eye on. They need to trade for the guy and then he gets suspended or something. But, I mean, Chiefs Kingdom Live, we're innocent until proven guilty right around here. So, Bo, how are you feeling about a possible reunion with the Cheetah, man?
Who wouldn't love Tyreek Hill on their team,
There's
right?
a lot of people that would.
I love this thought experiment, but it's just that, just a thought experiment. There's no way Miami's giving up Tyreek. He's their best player right now, right? Like,
if he wants out and he's a major pain in the ass and they're hitting the reset button with maybe, you know, tanking for a quarterback, I don't know.
I don't know. Like, I have a hard time seeing them giving up. It's not like he hasn't been unproductive down there, right? He's had a couple 1,000-yard seasons. He almost
had a
broke the record.
2,000-yard.
Yeah, almost had a 2,000-yard season.
1,900 yards or something.
put him back.
Third round, and Juwan Taylor's a little hopeful, right? I would imagine you start dabbling into the first round draft pick range for that guy. I don't think he.
I don't think anybody's.
I don't think he would.
First.
I don't think he would like the idea that he's a second round draft.
John
pick
C's
guy,
bringing up a Jalen Waddle. I'd be interested.
Take Waddle
in
too.
Waddle.
Let's take both of them, right?
I'd take.
But as far as like getting them back and like having our receiver core at full strength, dude, I kind of mentioned this last week. I was trying to pump up Xavier Worthy, but the dude's like 165 pounds soaking wet.
He's
man.
a little
It's
dude.
like if you just get taken out
for
for 3 weeks by taking a shoulder check crossing route, man, like the injury bug is a little concerning for me when it comes to him. So yeah, I would take him in a heartbeat. I just don't think it's realistic at all.
Yeah, I mean, you saw Travis Kelce when he ran into Xavier Worthy, was standing there looking at him, and Xavier Worthy's rolling around, writhing in pain on the ground. I mean, he's a smaller dude out there.
Right.
They're talking about, like, Xavier Worthy coming back with a shoulder brace. What the hell is a shoulder brace? Have you ever seen someone wear a shoulder brace before?
Yeah, so dude, like I was an athletic trainer in high school and stuff, and like I dealt with a lot of dislocated shoulders, and they have a brace, but like, dude, once you dislocate that shoulder, it's so easy to redo it, right? And like that brace isn't doing anything. The brace is more for like compression and like fluid buildup than anything. It's not keeping that joint stable.
Yeah, John C. MD down here.
50%. Yeah, dude, it's so easy to re-injure
motorcycles. He's probably
our man John C. is probably
familiar with the dislocated shoulder, right? Yeah.
Yeah, dislocations and broken bones go hand in hand with dirt bike riding. So, yeah, I think it's a fun talking point. I don't think it happens. Although I will say the Chiefs are the betting favorites to get Tyreek Hill in the trade right now, and there's reports out there the Chiefs have inquired about getting the cheetah back. So
that would be so wild. I would love it, man.
Kareem Hunt, man.
No complaints.
I got to get the old Kareem Hunt jersey out of the closet last year, wear it to a game, man. Like, look, the Chiefs like to bring their guys back, and they like familiarity, and they like their guys. And Tyreek Hill is definitely familiar and definitely one of their guys. So,
realistically, what percentage chance do you think that has of going through?
50%,
50-50?
No, I'm going to say like 35%.
Right,
35%.
Okay.
Nick?
Percent chance that we get Tyreek Hill?
Yeah.
Between 0 and 1?
Yeah, that's where I'm at. Like, there's a chance, but like it's closer to 0 than anything in my book.
John C. Stop laughing at 7. Woo, man.
I'm laughing with you, I think.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear that you're never the same after a separated shoulder.
Right.
With our
man, I can't. Man, that had to hurt. You have to have
he's got like NFL care though. Like he's got like
bro. Could you imagine
tiger blood and
Because you guys have to sit on a plane for 12 hours after that shit too. Like, God, that had been an uncomfortable flight back for Xavier Worthy. NFL news. The three of us have talked about this here. The new rule about the taunting, where you're seeing players are getting penalized for standing over and barking right at the player while he's on the ground. Bo, what do you think about
not a fan
that penalty? Not a fan of it, huh?
No, man. I mean, I feel like they're trying to take as much of the competitiveness out of football as possible. They're almost trying to like get rid of all emotions from guys. Like these guys have worked their entire life to get to this point and make that play, right? They've gone through 3-a-days in the summer, gone through training camp practices. They made the cut. They got on the field. They made a play, which, you know, with a lot of these guys have incentives to do that, right? Like some guys that make a play that's like an extra 50, 60 grand in their pocket, right? Like, let them celebrate. Let them be happy. Let them make a play, right? Like, still just, dude, I have echoes of that Chris Jones talking shit to Matt Ryan saying, like, you old ass or some shit like that and getting a play and, like, ruining. It's just like, come on, dude. They're grown ass men. They can handle some shit talking. Like, let's get the babying out of the NFL a little bit.
Yeah. Nick, what are your thoughts on them enforcing this? It's always been a rule, so I feel like a lot of people don't understand. They think it's like a new thing. You've never really were supposed to do it, but they just didn't police it, and it's one of those things they kind of let go, and now they're starting to kind of like enforce it.
They're calling it when like guys are like just jaw jabbering back and forth to each other, right? Like they're calling it for that. They're not calling it for like.
I haven't seen that. The only instances I've seen were in games where the guy's on the ground, the guy's standing over the top looking down at him.
I mean, I think about the Chiefs-Ravens AFC Championship game when Zay Flowers did that to L'Jarius Sneed and got a 15-yard penalty, and I kind of like that rule, you know, because it worked for the Chiefs that one time.
It's fine.
I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to prevent escalation and people fighting. And personally, I don't know. I know that you want to go out there, you want to like it's a physical game. These guys are like amped up. I'm not a big fan of like disrespecting opponents, you know, especially like after something big happens. Like you can celebrate, you can talk a little bit of shit, like, you know, Patrick doing this on the sideline. To me, that's like different than like standing over a guy and looking down at him. I don't like to see it in the game. I don't have a problem with it being a penalty. Like you said, it's more like a point of focus, I guess. So I don't know. It's like a new rule. I think like you're getting paid millions of dollars. Be smart enough not to do dumb shit, and you won't get your penalty. You know what I mean? It's not like the roughing the passer where it's like now you literally like can't like play the game. You know what I mean?
That's a play.
Like,
that's a part of the action.
Hey, we just want you to know that we made being an asshole after the play like a penalty, and we're gonna focus on it more. You know what I mean? Like, okay, yeah, cool, I got it.
Right. Look, to me, it's really kind of surprising is not the right word, but it's maybe disappointing to me. And I know, Bo, you said you don't have a problem with it, and we can agree to disagree. It's all good. Like, it's not like the end of the world to me. But to me, I just like there's a fine line between celebrating and taunting and like bad sportsmanship. And to me, like when you're standing over a guy, especially like maybe if the guy could be hurt or something and you're yelling at him, I guarantee you Coach Ron would have had my ass running wind sprints, dude, in practice if I stood over somebody and was yelling at him like that. So maybe I'm old school. Maybe it's old man, get off my lawn, stop skateboarding on the sidewalk stuff. I mean, that could be the case. But to me, man, like it's amazing to me that like this many people are like, no, let them talk trash. And you can talk trash. It's trash talk. But I think there's a line between trash talk and celebrating and like intentionally taunting and disrespecting like your opponent and not showing like good sportsmanship. And maybe it's even more of like a lack of civility, maybe, and that's even more of like a deeper like social issue. But I just like I think it's good, and I've thought it's something that like I've kind of never understood the last handful of years why they didn't enforce it more, because it's always been a penalty.
Yeah,
looks like we got Ico. I don't know how to pronounce that name, but glad to see in the chat. That's disrespectful. Yeah, it is. Is it the end of the world? No. I mean, I'm not losing my shit over it, but again, to me, I just think like you're like crossing that line.
To me,
at that point.
such an easy thing not to do.
Right.
Again, you say that, man, but like, man, the feeling of trucking a dude off of his feet, it's like hitting a perfect drive down the center of the fairway. You're just like, whoa.
I mean,
it's nice, right?
I mean, they penalize Terry Kill for throwing the peace sign at somebody. You know what I mean? Like this isn't like some new thing. I don't get.
But that's like the babying I'm talking about. Like you can't handle a guy doing this. Like it's the peace sign, man. Like it's a competitive sport. It's a physical sport. Like I don't know. It to me like you're right. Like I'm not gonna like die on this hill by any means. But I'd rather them like focus on flopping than this, right? Like trying to draw fake penalties or penalties that aren't there that are trying to like intentionally affect the game by like pretending to be fouled, right? Like I'd rather see them focus on that than guys showing emotion.
Right. Yeah, it's an interesting topic, and if you're on social media, it's widely debated. And it's surprised not the right word that there's just that many people that like are that mad that they're enforcing that rule. To me,
weird.
I don't know, but times change.
It's wild that they always pick like one rule to focus on every week. Like, oh, okay, this week we're focusing on alignment of the O line, right? Like, that's going to be our focus this year.
Offensive offside.
Focus on the fucking game. Focus on everything. Like you guys are the refs.
The rules committee and the referees got to have something to do in the off season, I guess. So.
Hey, Big Doug. Good to see you, man.
Yeah, Big Doug. Big Doug. Yeah, interesting. I don't know. We'll see. We see if these things fit like Taylor's off too, because so many people are getting upset about it. If it really remains a point of emphasis that they're looking forward through as the season moves on here.
We talked about Jawan Taylor a lot, but we didn't bring up Jalen Moore at all. Like, do you see him coming in, maybe even like for like Kingsley's spot if he's getting blown up or something? Do you see us utilizing him a little bit if it has echoes of last week?
I don't know. I don't know how good he is. Like, he didn't beat out either of those guys for the job, but at the same time, Kingsley won the starting left tackle job last year and got benched in week 2 or week 3 and couldn't play the position. So I don't know. He's making a lot of money to sit on the bench. I know that, $20 million.
What a spot that guy has, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how happy he is about that. I think he came here like on a 1 year or 2 prove-it deal to prove that he could play left tackle and get a left tackle payday. So I don't know how happy he would be to be playing right tackle or even probably worse, sitting on the bench. I mean, that guy's clock's ticking, right? He's not getting any younger. But look, man, like you can't have guys out there like Juwan Taylor having drive-killing men. It feel like it's even like overshadowed how impactful it is because Mahomes is such a magician on third down and converting these plays, right? On any other team,
Right.
man, that dude would be like shutting down 2 or 3 or 4 drives a game.
Yeah.
Especially with this week coming up, man, like you can't afford to like kill a drive with a stupid false start penalty at home, nonetheless, right? At home. So I don't know if I would go to more or not. I don't know enough about how good he is, but the leash wouldn't be very long, especially not this week. Nick?
That's what I'm saying. Nick, how many plays would you have to see of just like abysmal O-line play before you gave him a consideration?
Yeah, I mean, not too many. Like we're so thin we can't afford Patrick to get hurt because people can't do their job on the offensive line. You know what I mean? So yeah, look, Taylor's penalties, I don't understand like why he's still on the team. I guess maybe because they owed him a certain amount of money and they couldn't get anybody to take his contract. But I mean
aside from his penalties, he's got pretty good stats.
Dude, there's
other
people
than the
that don't
penalties.
get 4 penalties on the offensive line in like a season, and he got like
That's
4 in
true,
the
yeah.
first game.
Right.
He's
And this
like
isn't new. He's the
15
highest.
or-
He's had the most penalties in the league for 2 years now. It's not getting any better. He's not going to get any better. He's not learning from it. He's not doing anything different.
Just
Maybe they're
one more
not. Maybe
thing.
they're okay with it. Maybe they're just like, yeah, just keep doing it, and then like you'll just take the penalties when you get it. Eventually, the eye will come off of you. But I don't know. I just like
It's not looking like it.
it's not looking like it, and it's just now it's like pissing off the other players on the team. You know what I mean? I know that it's bubbling over on game 1 already. Like it's like, dude, like what is your deal? I don't know. I can't fathom making that kind of money and then not being able to like do the fundamentally like easy things of the
Right.
game, like the most like basic parts, right? It's like Kadarius Toney lining up off sides. It's like
Yeah.
Toe.
Yeah.
yeah, it's just like I just don't like. It's like you have to do it every play.
To me, it's like Major League Baseball players that can't bunt. Like, how do you make it to the major leagues, man? You don't know how to bunt. Like, it's a fundamental. You don't know how to hit the cutoff, man. Like, it's a like you said, Nick. It's like one of the most basic, easy, fundamental things to do is like not false start. Not kids. It's like dumbass penalty. Sometimes you get beat, and it's better to hold the guy than get your quarterback killed. I mean, I get that, but yeah.
But it's not holding penalties we're seeing out of him. It's like mostly
got
false
one of those,
start.
too.
I know he's getting holding.
He's
He's
been
like the
getting
most
those.
penalized offensive lineman, but
Right.
like
He's an equal
consistently, I'd say it's
opportunity
more so
offender.
his offsides. Yeah,
Yeah, he
equal
won't.
opportunity offender.
Right. Listen, man, like when it comes to penalties, I think the whole thing with him, he won't be on the team next year because they can get rid of him and clear a ton of cap space next year. The last year of his contract was.
yeah.
So I think this is the last year you're going to see him. It'd be really tough to bench the second highest paid player on the team. He's just the second highest paid player on the team this year. But I don't know. There's a
Maybe you
comment
should
about
be
it.
reminded
Maybe you
on
should be
any
reminded
play.
on it. Yeah, remind him, hey, don't jump early this time. Hey, this is where you're supposed
Every
to be.
play.
So,
Hey,
right,
this is the count, man. Okay.
right.
Well, like, and the thing is, like, he knows the count. He just like goes early.
He tries, and
tries
I've
to
seen,
time it.
look, and here's
Yeah.
the thing too. I've seen replays where he starts like rocking backwards right as the ball is met. I mean, it is amazing how
Yeah.
in tune, but it's so like perfect the timing that it looks like he's going early because you can't even really see the balls moving that well. It's like easier to see him out there on the end moving than the ball. You just got to stop doing that, man. Like you
Yeah,
can't.
you
Yeah,
just
if
gotta,
he's
you
that
know,
in
you have to
tune,
take
wait
slower.
Sometimes,
Yeah, wait a
that's
tenth
not
of a
all the
second.
time. That's not all the time. But there are definitely times where he's gotten called for it, and he's not false starting. But it's wild. It's insane.
Yeah.
So, Buffalo Bills, Ravens, Baltimore Ravens, Sunday night thriller. Those two teams look pretty good, but their defenses look suspect.
81 points is a lot of points.
Everybody fawning over Josh Allen, and he validated his MVP award last year with this week 1 performance. I'm like, am I the only one that saw him overthrow a guy in the end zone there at the end of the game, and the ball got tipped, and it just happened to go to one of his guys instead of one of the 3 defenders that was surrounding the guy? Like,
that's all a part of his greatness. He planned that out. So,
and then Derrick Henry fumbles the ball to even leave the door open for him. I don't know, man. Listen, Josh Allen's a good player. He's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. But this idea that he had some like all-time great performance to me was
Yep, Jeremy. Yep.
Wow. I mean, just I didn't see it. Like most of the game, I mean, he was making some plays, but the Ravens were taking it to him. So that game, I mean, Lamar Jackson looked better than Josh Allen, I thought.
Yeah, man, it was like 41-25 with
Right.
4 minutes left or something like that. They were getting housed.
Right.
Yeah.
What does that do for the AFC playoff picture? We've talked about how easy the Bills' schedule is this year. I was kind of banking on them losing that game, honestly. They always lose, though, a game or two that they probably shouldn't lose, but I don't really see a whole lot of games on their schedule other than maybe when they play us, and I'm sure they'll be the favorite even in that game when they're taking on Kansas City, being at home. I don't know that they'll be like the team that shouldn't win or down the stretch, so they might be able to get away this year with having a couple of losses to these bad teams that they should beat because they don't really have any losses to teams they should lose to. How far do they go to getting that 1 seed wrapped up, you think, Nick?
I mean, it's the first game of the season. It's a big game on their schedule, but I think you're going to see things evolve. Some of the games that maybe looked easy won't be as easy as we thought.
Yeah, right.
They had luck there. They also had the fortunate, calls where and I'm not saying that they were bad calls, but I mean, on 4th down and 3rd down to extend drives that ended up in touchdowns, where they got pass interference calls. It was really the Ravens blew that game as much as anything. And to be honest, God, the coaching there at the end where it's like not running Derrick Henry. And I know he fumbled the ball, but not running Derrick Henry. And I know you were talking about the 1 seed, Scott, but we were kind of going back and forth live and then afterwards. And you think I'm crazy. Dude, I couldn't imagine a world where I watched that game as a coach and I didn't go for it on 4th and 3, and kicked the ball to the Bills. Dude, there's no way that you weren't going to keep them from getting a field goal there. I can't. They did it with when what's his name, Clyde Edwards-Helaire fumbled. They went for it on 4th and 5, against us. I just don't understand why they punted the ball there. But
yeah, dude, I would have done the exact same. I would have
in
went
field goal
for
range
it,
already.
force them to get a. Yeah, hopefully you can force them to a field goal at that point.
I mean, I guess if you think maybe you had a better chance of getting 3 yards than you did getting a turnover or stopping them. They'd stopped them earlier in the game. I mean, the Bills only had what? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
You've gotten a few stops. I haven't. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say, man. I mean, the Bills only had 25 points going to the 4th quarter, so the Ravens' defense had gotten off the field a few times. I just don't know that you can just hand the ball over to the other team already in field goal range and take that risk. Maybe that makes me too conservative.
I just significantly doubt. I seriously doubt that they can't get 3 yards.
I mean, they couldn't get 10 on the previous 3 plays.
Yeah, they didn't. I mean, weren't giving the ball to the guy that
4th and 3 is not a 4th and 3 is not a guarantee.
It's not a gimme, but
Chief
I think
Bloody
it's one
Grass
of
is
those
in
plays
saying
let's go.
we're fine. Yeah, we're good. We're relaxed, man. Even if the Chiefs don't win this game against the Eagles, it's not over. The Chiefs started 1-2 a few years ago, and I think that was the year they played the Bengals in the championship game. Really, probably should have gone to the Super Bowl. Yeah, I understand the sentiment John C. saying you play to win, but to me, risking giving the other team the ball and not even making them work to get into field goal range that's not playing to win. I don't know. We'll never know. Maybe they should have gone for it. What did you
Hunting
say
is
about
playing not to
Lamar,
lose.
dude? Lamar Jackson saying that like he would have pushed for them to go for it more on that fourth down, but he was cramping and was kind of tired. Did you see that? Where he was talking about that after the game, like.
No, I didn't.
No, I
Like,
didn't
bro,
see that.
what? You don't say that's something you don't say out loud, man.
He was cramping.
Yeah, he said he was having cramps and he's had an ankle issue in the I wouldn't say all off season, but coming into the season, he's had some sort of foot or ankle issue going on. So,
I mean, you got to have a play though, where you can get 3 yards for a crucial game situation against like a quality opponent. Like you just, I know it's the first week, but like you got to have that play in your bag somewhere, right?
John C., the CKL chat comedian. That's funny.
Nick,
Yeah,
I agree
look,
with you,
I
man,
just-
but like that's like a yardage we struggle with all the time, right? Like if it's
Right,
us, like,
It's not a
yeah,
yardage the Ravens struggle with all the time.
The Bills,
with
to
their
me-
offensive line and their rushing attack.
Yeah. To me, the Bills are in the
That's fair.
driver's seat for the 1 seed, and they're really going to
Yeah,
have
for
to
sure.
like, screw this thing up. Especially if like a team like the Dolphins is bad, maybe it's not as good as people thought. That's a team maybe you hope could jump up and nip them. Although their defense is as bad as it is, and they're giving up 40-plus points. I mean, if your defense is that bad throughout the course of the season, you can lose to anybody. But, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. But it was an exciting game. It was an improbable comeback for sure.
I don't know if it set the tone, but it set a tone for the offense in the AFC, right? Those are 40 points each, man, by
Yeah.
2 teams in the same
Was it
game.
really good offense or was it bad defense? That's always the question, right?
Bad defense. That was really bad defense on both teams' parts, but like also with guys who were capable to score on bad defenses too. So it's
Derrick
just
Henry's-
perfect storm.
Derrick Henry's a beast, man. Jeremy was asking for
You're good,
someone's-
Jeremy.
Jeremy, you're all good, bro. Thanks for stopping by. Better late than never. He was asking for someone's schedule. I don't know if he was asking for the Bills schedule, the Chiefs schedule. I don't know. Bo
Yeah,
and
I think
Nick are the
like
tech
mentioned
guys here. I don't know if they can
specials
bring
there.
that up quick or not, but the Bills schedule is easy, man. Easy. I don't even know what their next
Well,
hardest
6 of their games are the Dolphins and the Jets and the Patriots, right?
Yeah.
So
Although the Jets look feisty against the Steelers. And,
yeah, they put
But
up.
I don't know. Justin Fields did that with the Steelers,
Numbers.
right? For a game or two. And then I
That's
don't
the Jets.
know. Right.
It's just the Jets. Jets gonna jet.
One game does not make a season, right?
Yeah.
So
We're with you, Bloody Grass.
And
only
week
been
1.
week. We're not. It's
only been
too
week-
crazy
it-
with
it's
it.
it's only 1 week and it's week 1 at the same time. Week 1 last year, the Saints dropped 47 points on somebody, and everybody thought, "Oh my God, they could be a dark horse NFC championship, Super Bowl
Good memory.
contender,"
I
and
forgot about
they
that.
won like 4 games.
Right.
Right.
I mean, there's teams that won this week 1 that will end up winning like 4 games the rest of the year, and there's teams that lost that will end up winning 12 games this year. So week 1's always wild. It's not good for me in the CKL Pick'em League. I had a rough week 1, so I don't know. Anything else you guys want to get to, or we kind of bagged up?
I'm
I
good.
think
I'm good
most of
now.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Got a little bit of a late
Thanks
start.
everybody for stopping by. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no, everybody in the chat's awesome seeing y'all. That's why we do the show.
Hell yeah.
Y'all
Football.
make the show,
back.
man. Y'all make the show. We've done this longer and longer and gotten the chat built up, right? And gotten people in here. It's just made it that much better and that much more fun. So you all are just as important part of the show as us 3 schlubs up here on the screen. So Chiefs got a big game, big test against the Eagles coming up at Arrowhead. It's the home opener, game 1 at Arrowhead. Get some revenge. I know Bo called it a Super Bowl rematch. I will not call it that. Unless they're going to give us the Lombardi trophy. Like if we win the game, but actually, you know what? You get the Super Bowl now, right?
You're right. That's, Super Bowl rematch.
right.
You got it.
But Chief Bloody Grass is checking out, saying later. We'll be back next Wednesday. Hopefully talk about a Chiefs win and look ahead to a game against the maybe still Russell Wilson-led New York Giants in week 3 after that. Man, beat the Eagles and then get that team is a dessert after that. Chiefs could be back to 2-1, looking real good, get the season back on track here. So really appreciate everybody again for swinging by. Make sure you click like, Make sure you click subscribe, get in on the drawings, follow us on social media at Chiefs Kingdom Live. And until next week, let's go Chiefs.
All right, let's go,
Let's go,
Chiefs.
Chiefs.